Hey guys, I hope everybody had a great day today. It was a little bit challenging in the market. If you weren't comfortable, then you probably didn't need to be in it. That's just the way it goes sometimes. Every day is not going to be the best day for you to trade. Um, and, I want you guys to know it's okay to lose to the market. It's okay to not take a trade in the market, but it's never okay to lose to your fear of the market. You don't want to lose because you're scared of what can happen or what's happening. That you just got to get rid of. A lot of times we talk about building a trading plan, and you develop confidence in that plan and that strategy, and that tends to eliminate the fear. You believe in it. You know that over a period of time you're going to make money on it. You're going to take losses. You're going to take hits. But you shouldn't be losing because you're scared. You should be losing because your trade plan did not work at that time. I mean, hell, take a look at my April. Look at the sea of red. Out of let's see, 5, 10, 14, 19, 20. Out of 21 days I traded, 7 of those days were red. 7 of the 21 were red. 4 of them I didn't even trade at all, and a couple of them I just barely squeaked by green, because I had some pretty bad, some bad trades. April was a struggle. I just, it seemed like my strategy just wasn't really connecting with the market. But I stayed consistent. I never, let fear creep in to any trade I took. That I was scared that it wasn't going to work, or I was scared that it wasn't going to, make me money. Now, I know my problem sometimes is I get mad. I'll get pissed because the trade is not going the way I want it to. But that's just my way of dealing with it. I don't let that upset me to the point where I make mistakes trading. I just do that to kind of release the stress and the tension that the market brings, and it's gonna bring it regardless. Everybody's gonna feel a little bit of weight being in the market, but you just can't let that fear of what's gonna happen in that trade mess with your head. You just can't do that. So you can see with all of this red, these scratch days, at the end of the month we still made 22.42. I waited. When the market came to me, I took advantage of it. And that's what this is all about. And this is what I try to teach you how to do it. But the main thing is being consistent, not being scared of losing or that the market's taking money away from you. You learn your strategy, you develop your edge, and we execute it in the market every day. There's going to come a time where we have to make a change, subtle changes into what we do, but it takes time to show. It's just not going to show in a matter of a couple weeks. Over a period of time, if the market changes that bad, then that's when we're going to have to tweak it a little bit. But other than that, just stay consistent and let things happen. Tomorrow, having another live real-time day trading webinar. You come in, you get to see me do what I do every day in the market. Every day that in our community, this is what they see me do. And it's all about teaching. Every day it's about teaching. So I want you to come in. If you're not a member, take a look at it right here on YouTube. Be here at 8:30. We'll start to go live then. You can watch me build my watch list and, start to put my trade plans together, my trade ideas going into the open, and then we execute. If the market's receptive, we're going to trade. If it's not, we're going to sit on our hands. If it's a little sketchy and we want to throw a little bit out there, then we may go in half size, see if we can get it to work, and take it from there. But you have to be able to identify when these times are, and it takes practice. It's not, as I said, it's not watching videos, it's not reading books, it's experiencing live trading. Not watching videos of live trading, experiencing it as it happens. You've got to experience the now. You've got to experience the emotion as it's happening now. That's what's important. So come on in, check us out. We'll be here 8:30 tomorrow morning. Now, one day only, all day tomorrow, starting from midnight tonight to 11:59 tomorrow night. You have the option of getting the roadmap to success. This will carry you through the end of the year. Same deal. It's just going to carry. You're going to get a couple extra weeks free, but it carries you to the end of the year. So one day only. If you want to take advantage of it, you got from 11:59 tonight to 12 midnight tonight to 11:59 tomorrow night. All right, so let's take a look at what we did today. We really need to start with my first trade. This was I was about to say it. This was the messed up trade. Opening range breakdown here. I had to wait for it to break the 200. I felt once it went down below it, popped back up. But once it got down below it, again, I felt, this thing could wash. And we had to move down to this 84.51 level. I got in. It just did. It didn't trade worth crap. I probably should have taken it off, but I know the morning is really volatile. We can get these huge swings. But it just didn't work out. So I ended up stopping out. And it actually gave you a good opening range breakout trade. Here's the opening range high. It broke out over it. This was the entry right here. Right here was the entry on this, around 85-ish or so. And, you had a good point. I mean, a nice move up. Good. If it got hung up here, you could have took a little bit off. But, really, really solid trade here if you took the opening range. It's just the bad thing about this, it was just a little bit volatile, a little bit whippy through this. But this was an opening range breakout. But again, I got short, ended up having to get stopped out up here once we went through all of this resistance, which was now support, and just called it quits on it. So right around, what I wanted to lose on this trade, around $150. Now my stop is up to 200. I kind of explained it to you yesterday how I moved my stop based on how much money I have in my account, but I wasn't going to give it that much room. I felt 50 shares, 60 cents was enough. And, and if it broke that, then it was probably going to go. So that's what it was. So didn't do good on it. BABA. Oh, let me go back. BABA. This one was kind of a trend continuation trade. We had, here's the opening range trade here. The opening range here. So if I was going to trade this to the short side, I would have had to use the body. To the long side, I'd have had to use the body. So here's a 5-minute opening range high that I would base the trade off of. But this wasn't that. This was a trend continuation trade. We had the makings of a flag. This hadn't really matured yet. We had the pole put in. We started to pull back. For me, a flag needs three bars or 3 candlesticks. One, it had 2. It really needed 3. But this one was working so well, and we were, working off of this level. I went ahead and got long. Took some profit. This was an opening range high, and we didn't quite get there. But as we were coming down, I said I need to take profit off of it. So I did take some profit. And here we ended up getting stopped out. And I tried it again because it looked like we were bouncing. Here we made a higher high. I got in and ended up getting stopped out. And I'm like, well, this thing is weak. Here we made a lower high. Look at the trend right here. So I got in down here. We bounced. Even though we came back above the VWAP and stuff, the trend is still in place. That downtrend is still in place. These are trend continuation trades. So as long as the trend is holding, the trade is still good. And so ended up taking some off here at the 200. Was looking for the fade of the 200 to get down here to red to green, or green to red, how you want to look at it, and potentially hitting the 90-day. This is the 90-day moving average from the daily chart. This is the opening range low, but never did get there. So I ended up covering it because we were holding and we started making higher lows. So I dumped it, and right in the nick of time, we made this push all the way through this this resistance, which now became support. So once this candle opened and we broke the high of this candle, I jumped in it. Now, obviously, I probably would have wanted to pull back. Ideally, getting in over here probably would have been the best bet. But I couldn't wait to see if this was going to pull back or not. I was just in that zone where, look, this is either going to work or it's not. And, I got in this, was looking for the move coming out of lunch. It stalled. We had a pullback, but it held in the 9 pretty good. Hit our first target up here. This is 178.15 level. This is a level from the daily chart. Then we got up to the 5-minute opening range high, which has acted as intraday support earlier. I took a piece off there and was trying to wait for it to get up to like 180.60-ish. I think that was the level that I was looking for. We just couldn't get it. But I took some off at 180. I was in through here. I started thinking I probably need to take some off at 180 and then leave the rest on to see if it can get up there. But it didn't. So ended up, taking it off here. Hit my my profit stop here. So really nice trade on Baba. That's where we made our money today. I lost a little bit here on QCOM, but we made our money on Baba. And I got an okay earnings trade. I'm slowly getting back into these. I've been kind of calling them this week. And, I had this one that I really wanted to where is it? There it is. I had this one, CSCO, that I really wanted to get in. This was on our scan earlier this morning. So I've been kind of watching it all day. And it flatlines here, toward the end of the day. But that doesn't really matter. We're not trading this. What I'm looking for is, everything that I looked up, all the research told me that we were going to beat on earnings per share. The guidance was good. So we should gap up. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to gap up, but we should. There was an article that said traders were expecting Cisco to gap down 5%. Now that article came out. That's probably what tanked this earlier, or what had the sell off. All that is somebody trying to tank the stock so they could buy early and then sell into this gap up. You know, professional traders are going to already be in this, and they're going to sell into the gap up. And that's what I want to do. That's the whole premise behind my earning strategy, is to be on the right side with big money so I can do exactly what they're doing. And here, what I look for, and you know, this is just from the strategy, that if you took the classes, if you watch the classes, this is exactly what we look for. We look for the stock to sell off going into the close. Here we had two big selling candles. The volume almost doubled. So this is the sell-off I'm looking for. So this is telling me that I'm looking for this, that my gap up strategy, what I'm thinking, that the stock's going to gap up based on everything that I saw, that's what's going to happen, because we're selling off. People are selling. And so I know it seems like it's just the opposite of what you want to do, but you got to understand, these guys, these big money guys, they'll do the opposite just so they can position themselves to get a better, a better trade. So I'm looking for this thing to do just the opposite going into the close. Now, does it do this all the time? No. But the ones that I trade, that's what I'm looking for. And if I don't see it, if I don't like what I'm seeing, I'm not going to trade it. I've got to have the edge. If you don't have the edge in this, it's not going to work for you. You're going to lose. So I got to have an edge. And my edge was there. So that's when I jumped on this. And, I told you guys in chat exactly what I was thinking on this. I even shared that crazy, the title of that crazy article. It's like, yeah, really, like, I'm going to believe that this is going to gap down 5% on earnings announcement. Absolutely not. So, I still had to be a little bit cautious with it, but this kind of gave me the answer that I needed to take the trade, and that's what it was. So, only 160.27. We only went 100 shares in. These you don't want to get in too heavy, because they'll make big enough moves for you to make a decent amount of money. But, this one had the 50, and then you had the 20 up there. So there wasn't a whole lot of room for this thing to go. But it went enough. We banked 160.27. So pretty decent day. Ended up 317.58. More tickets than I normally have. I usually like to keep it between 8, no more than 12 tickets. Just had a little bit more today because of the couple of stop outs, and the way Baba was trading, it just dictated me to take a little bit more trades. But all in all, a pretty decent day. I'll take it. We'll shut it down and move on till tomorrow. So don't forget, tomorrow, if you're not a member, join me here at 8:30 right here on my YouTube channel, and go live. You'll get to see exactly what happens inside a morning at Average Joe Trading. And if you really like it, you want to hang out with us the rest of the year, and you want to grow, and you really want to learn how to be a consistent trader, take advantage of the roadmap special. You get all of those perks, and I believe that's the best opportunity you're going to have this year to get on the path of reaching your trading goals. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me, ed@averagejoetrader.com. And, I'm usually around, usually up late. So shoot me an email. I'll be glad to talk to you about it. So take it easy. Y'all have a great night, great evening, and I will catch you tomorrow.